and welcome to the video tutorial for Seeing It, the experiential exercise in the book From Heart to Heart. And so for this exercise, what I really wanted to show you is I'm going to talk about the process, but people really get confused by the idea of what they're supposed to do when they're going through the magazines. So you're basically, to start with, you're going to have collected magazines that you're willing to destroy because you're going to be ripping out of them. You're going to be taking images out of them. They're not going to remain intact. And there's no way to do this without tearing out of them. But there's something very almost therapeutic and releasing in the tearing of the magazine. And so really the whole idea is to set your intention, if I can talk, and you're going to do that at the very beginning. You don't have to do it every time that you pull a magazine. Ideally, you want to flip through a magazine every couple of days at different times, not doing it all in one sitting. So as you can see here is I have only one magazine. So I'm going to go through this one magazine today, and then tomorrow I'll do another one, and then let some time pass. And basically after you go through a magazine, you're just going to take all of your images and you're just going to put them in an envelope and save them for another day to pull them out and look at those themes. But what I think people really get held up on is going through the magazine. So let's go through that together and see what that looks like. So I want to set my intention, which is I want to expose my passion. And you easily can change this intention. This exercise can be used for a variety of different things, but for the way that I explained it in the book, we want to expose our passion. So basically I'm going to go through looking at the images, and I'm really trying to focus on the images, not necessarily the words. If a word stands out to me, typically I will flip past it and only go back. But looking for things that speak to me. So this image here, these images kind of speak to me. So I'm going to tear that out and just put that in a separate pile. And then continue going through my magazine. Something about these cookies speak to me. Check the back too. Make sure that you're looking at everything. I'm just going to keep going through just like this. Paying attention to what speaks to me and pulling them out accordingly. Better Home & Gardens likes to stick. Oh, wrinkled. Makeup. Some corn. Oh. This picture of this painting really stands out to me, so I'm going to tear that out. Check out the back, these kitty cats. Silly kitty. Oh, this kitchen. These colors speak to me in a way I never thought possible. Now these words speak to me. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it. Plus the image is something that is really resonating with me as well. This here. So this is what you're going to do when you go through your magazines. It's just kind of flip and pay attention when something speaks and tear it out. And then if nothing speaks, just like this ad. and you just move on. Sometimes you'll find a lot, sometimes you'll find one, sometimes you'll find none. There's one time we did this exercise and somebody really had a tough time finding things, and that's okay. You've got to keep going. This word, trust, is one of my big power words. And so I'm going to pull that because it's a word. If you are drawn to a word, make sure that it is a word, and maybe a very small phrase. We don't want to be taking out like big pieces of anything. Like, shouldn't be like, oh, I love this. No. With that being said, there are always exceptions that I have found where people have located things that have spoke to them and speak well. Like, so I'm going back. The second act stands out to me. So I think pie always speaks to me. And as you get good at this, you'll start to page through it faster and faster. Because you'll know what you're looking for. And you'll know and be able to trust yourself that what is needed to stand out will stand out. I think you're starting to get the idea. This image here is what stood out to me. Not necessarily the whole room. And that's something to notice too, is what's standing out to you in the image. It doesn't mean you have to like everything in the image. It's only specific things. And that's okay. That is perfectly fine. Oh, this word. So that's all from that magazine, and then I'll have a nice little pile here. Now the trick is once you go through your magazine, you don't want to go back through your pile. I don't want you to judge your pile. You're simply going to take it and put it in your envelope or box or whatever it is, and then you'll just keep collecting the images. Now after you've done that, and 7 days later or whenever you choose to go back through, that's when you'll really start sorting through this pile of images and identifying which really speak to you. And that's your opportunity to throw out some. Everything in this pile is going to speak to you. It's just that you'll start to feel a difference between those that resonate more strongly than others. And then these images will start to paint a picture. And I know that sounds a little, maybe a little out there. You may be a little, what is the word? A little pessimistic or doubtful that will occur, but it will. And sometimes if you pull these images out and you're looking at all of them and you don't see any similarities or themes, I really challenge you to put them away and then bring it back out. And use the TFWN journaling technique each time to, jot down what you're seeing, feeling, thinking, even if it's I see nothing, because it will show up. It is there. And if you remember my stories from the book, even the clients where what I saw was so crystal clear in front of me was so hard for them to accept, even when it was almost the same image that showed up over and over and over again over the weeks. So that's how you do the seeing it exercise. You easily can also transition those images to a poster board to hang. I know some people like to turn them almost into the equivalent of like a vision board kind of reminder of your passion. But enjoy this exercise. I hope it serves you. It serves so many, and I find it to be extremely powerful. Thank you.